Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Jack,
My name's Arvin.
and we are HR consultants with Can Do Solutions, a business unit under Management Strategies, where we offer you HR consulting powered by
Culture.
But just for today, you can refer to us as Tito HR.
And Kuya HR.
So let's get straight into it. First, we'll talk about what's the role with HR. Ano ba ang ginagawa ng HR? What are they there for? Anong silbi nila sa isang company?
Ano nga ba?
Ano nga ba? Well, back in the olden days, HR was just merely some kind of support function that could handle things like, payroll,
Leaves.
leaves. They were just there for transactional stuff.
Yes.
But that was way, 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 way back when the Spaniards were still around.
I think dati nga wala silang leaves eh.
Pwede nga.
No?
But today, HR is very different, di ba?
Yes. HR has made a lot of progress. It coincides with how society also grows, puts value on the labor force and the work that they do. So at the moment, actually even here in the Philippines, it would surprise you. Our labor laws are actually very, very, very slanted towards employees kesa employers. You're very well protected here and you actually have a lot of benefits that other countries don't have.
That's true. And HR as a function has also evolved to the point where they now have a seat at the senior leadership table.
Yeah.
You have chief HR officer roles, you have head of people and culture.
Yes.
So they're not just transactional things anymore. They're really there to help the business grow, make strategy decisions, and focus on really the most important resource companies have, which is people.
Yeah. And most of the time, at least in the industry at the moment, when they look at HR, they call them HR BPs, business partners.
Yep.
So even though HR doesn't necessarily have a hand directly in, for example, hitting the bottom line when it comes to profits, they're still there because it's the people that make the bottom line happen.
And speaking of making the bottom line happen, we've done a lot of consulting with small and medium-sized companies over the years, right? And we've kind of noticed there are some common challenges or problems that they encounter. Like number one thing that I've noticed is a lot of the times, walang kontrata.
Ah, yes, this is true. To be fair, our labor code doesn't necessitate a contract per se for you to be recognized as a regular employee under a company, especially if you've been working with them for like a year na.
Automatic na, di ba?
Automatic na yun. But contracts are still very important in order to protect both the employee and the employer by setting up very specific rules and requirements.
Correct. Kasi mahirap yung usapan lang.
Yes.
May verbal agreement lang.
Yes.
Or handshake lang.
Yes.
Kasi once you have to prove certain things, better na documented na siya.
Documents are very, very important, especially in the Philippines. Our labor code is slanted towards the employees. So we want to always avoid the he said, she said scenario, especially when it comes to trying to get what's owed,
Yep.
either from the employer side or the employee side.
Another thing we've also noticed over the years is minsan medyo malabo yung internal policies or may inconsistencies in the policies or the policies do not align with anong regulatory requirements ni DOLE.
This is true. And I mean, connected to sa usapan natin, the contracts, the more room there is for vague interpretation, the more we risk issues coming up. Kasi for example, just because a policy isn't written out well, sometimes in its application, magkakaroon tayo nung parang perspective on favoritism.
Yep.
Parang, bakit sa kanya? Hindi niyo siya pinapenalize pag nalilate siya. Bakit ako? Malate lang ako isang beses. Binigyan niyo na ako ng memo. Hindi fair. Saan ba nakasulat yan? Susumuko kayo sa DOLE.
Correct. Or, what employers don't realize is that kahit na wala kayong HR policies, wala kayong systems, wala kayong policies, wala kayong employee manual, automatically, all of your employees are covered by what the bare basic requirements of DOLE are.
Yes.
You cannot override, supersede, and say, dito, ganito kami. So, bahala kayo DOLE. Di pwede
Yeah.
yun.
Yes. This is true. Okay, so meron tayong baseline na sinusunod, which is the labor code. And the labor code, doon nakasaad yung mga, well, yung minimum expectations natin from one another, from the employee to the employer, and the employer to the employee. So, if magkaroon kayo ng sitwasyon wherein either side claims something, and nasasabihin nila, wala naman tayong policy, wala naman tayong handbook about that you can still refer to the labor code.
Correct. And sometimes people tend to forget or aren't even aware about certain benefits they have under the labor code na minsan hindi i-enforce ng mga employees, like employers. Like for example, yung paternity leave.
Yes, that's true.
Single parent leave.
Yes.
Diba? I mean, people think na it's just a service incentive leave of 5 days.
True.
That's it. They don't realize there are actually additional benefits. Of course, maternity leave.
Yes.
But people don't realize there are these other benefits that are covered under the labor code na minsan hindi in-enforce ng mga employers.
This is true. Actually, it's interesting that you brought up yung service incentive leave. Kasi there's actually one interesting bit about that na a lot of employers or even employees don't seem to know.
Ano yun?
So, yung service incentive leave, actually, encashable siya.
Talaga?
At the end of the year. Oo. So kung hindi mo nagamit yung service incentive leave mo, the employer has to give it to you in cash.
Oh.
Yes. Nakasaad yun doon. Some people kasi think na parang, hindi ko nagamit, so wala na siya. Poof. Nawala na lang yung service leave ng ganun.
Okay. So everyone, don't forget, encashable ang service incentive leave.
Yes.
Okay. What have you noticed naman sa clients that we work with?
Siguro, one of the things na I've also noticed, and this is especially true for for family businesses or small operations, no? Meron sa kanila na hindi masyado careful with the way they deal with the working environment. So what do I mean? What do I mean? One of the fun fact or not so fun fact, one of the most common cases kasi na fina-file dito sa Philippines is about constructive dismissal.
Okay, what is constructive dismissal for those out there who don't know what it is?
So, constructive dismissal is when an employee is illegally removed, separated, terminated from their job without due process.
So yung mga, you're fired!
Oo, yung mga ganyan. Or, ngayon, this was just recent, I think, if the employee was made to feel like there was no other recourse to take but to resign.
So parang, I put you in a position na sobrang hirap,
Correct.
I set you up for failure.
Exactly. Yan. So, when those variables are present, for example, in a toxic work environment, na yun nga, you put me in a difficult position, I can't do my job, I'm failing, or more commonly, may mga verbal abuse na nangyayari. Like bad words. Actually, those are all, they're all evidence of case for constructive dismissal.
Okay. Have I done that to you lately?
No. Never.
Just checking lang.
Never.
You never know. No. Okay. I think that kind of covers a lot of the basic stuff that we encounter when we do consulting. Maybe also one other minor thing I want to point out is when they do a lot of changes in policies, they don't inform employees.
What you're describing is essentially communication, right? So, even in personal relationships, diba, communication is very important. We have to be able to tell one another what we're thinking, what we're feeling. When it comes to company policies, even more so. Kasi if it's not properly communicated to your employees, they wouldn't know what to do. So usually, when there are new developments, memos and policies, it is communicated, it is put up in a public area in the office.
Right.
And they ask you to acknowledge it sana. So when an employee acknowledges a new policy, they also agree to be put under it.
Oh.
So that if they violate it somehow, they agree to the penalties attached.
So that covers the more common problems we encounter with the clients that we have. Ngayon, I'm a small business owner.
Yes.
Okay? There are certain non-negotiables.
Yes.
Small. There are certain non-negotiables or certain important foundational things I need to keep in mind that are not overly complicated, but I should be aware of.
Yes.
So like first and foremost is making sure you have your documents ready. Employee contracts, 201 files. So I remember before there was a requirement you're supposed to keep physical copies or digital copies of your 201 files for at least a year. Correct?
Correct.
Has that changed anytime recently?
When it comes to yung document requirements natin, I think it's longer than a year na for keeping it in file. But the main reason that we need those physical documents is when Dole comes knocking for an audit,
Right.
those are the things that I will specifically look for.
So okay yung digital.
Digital and physical should both exist.
For example, 10 years ka na sa akin, I need to have physical copies of everything I've had with you in your 201 files.
10 years with me. Yes. If you haven't left my company, then definitely.
Interesting. Kaya pala common concern yung where do I store all these things?
Yes, definitely.
That's because we still live in a very paper-driven process.
If you think about it, I mean, yung what Dole will sometimes do, for example, if you do have digital records, they ask you to print it.
That's true.
They ask you to print it, ask you to put it in a binder, and then they'll go through it with you in a committee group, usually.
That is true. Well, in addition to physical copies, physical and or digital copies of these important documents, there's also your government mandatory requirements. PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, SSS.
Oh, yes.
Definitely. And I know that there are some employers who do the practice of they'll pay na lang the money to the employee and just tell the employee, ito na yung buong share, ikaw na bahala mag-deposit.
That particular practice should only be for essentially consultants.
Yep.
No, not regular employees.
Yep.
Regular employees, yung kanilang government mandatory, should go through the company.
Yep.
But also, as a reminder, one of the particular pitfalls, especially sa government mandatories, is you should always still find time to do internal audits. One of the things that I've come across in dealing with our clients is pag masyado mong trusted yung sa accounting, it's still possible na there will be anomalies.
That is correct. I have a uniquely spelled middle name, and I found out pala, I checked my SS records. For the first like 10, 15 years or the first period, there's a period of time where essentially I had two records because nga yung middle name ko was spelled differently.
Yes.
So I had one record with one version of my middle name and another version of my middle name. I had to reconcile the two things, and good Lord, that was not easy.
Yes. First time I filed, they got my birthday wrong.
Oh my gosh. So
yeah.
you had to fix it pa.
Yeah.
And ikaw ang gagawa, hindi yung company.
Yes.
Oh, di ba?
You have to trigger it.
But from the employer side naman, lugi ka kasi if ever ma-audit ka, you have to show receipts that you actually deposited and made the payments for fair improvement.
Yes, correct.
And if I ask you to do it, wala na akong proof.
Yes, this is true. The proof na hahanapin sa'yo when an audit is done is dependent on the kind of employee contracts that you have. As I mentioned before, if you're a consultant, it's enough that you give the consultant their pay and then sila na yung bahala mag-file. But if you're employing a regular workforce, you should have receipts of payment for all of them. Part of the anomalies that I was trying to raise earlier kasi is when companies don't do internal audit, sometimes si employee mag-request siya sa SSS, for example, sa PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, oh, I need the support. That practice is now, it used to be that you had to go through HR to request for that kind of help. But now, the government allows you to do that on your own online. So sometimes what happens is an employee will request for their benefit and then they'll find out they're missing payments.
Yep. I've heard many horror stories like that.
Yes. When that happens, lawyers need to get involved na.
Yep.
Because depending on the amount, it can definitely become a criminal case.
And you mentioned earlier also about, consultants, regular employees, employee types. Maybe that's something we should talk about maybe in our next podcast, the different kinds of employees that employers can have and what the differences could be. Kasi that can be a bit confusing for people as well. Like, ano bang difference ng full-time, sa part-time, sa contractual, sa consultant basis, sa project basis? It can be very confusing for people. So, you as employers, you need to understand these different types of employees.
Yes.
You need to understand how, and to do that, it helps protect both the employer and the employee kasi.
This is true. Even as now, as a practitioner for how many years na, it's still very hard for me to clearly determine what an employee is if I'm only just reviewing what their relationship is with the employer,
Correct.
what the kind of job that they're doing, what are their hours. Because honestly, in our current setup in the government, although we have very different employee types, the benefits that they get look similar. That's why it's very easy to akala ko full-timer ka, pero yung pala part-time lang siya. It's because certain benefits still come
Apply
across.
regardless.
Yes.
Yep, that's true. And, and another thing also that employers kind of struggle with is, paano kung meron kang problematic na employee? Parang it's a very common struggle with business owners na, sa sobrang employee-friendly ni Dole,
Yeah.
how can I make sure that if I need to eventually remove a problematic employee from my organization, how can I do it in such a way that it doesn't end up coming back to me? But employers just need to realize that may proseso naman eh.
Yes.
It's really just you need to make sure may due cost ka and may due process.
Yes.
Intimidating lang yung process and admittedly, yes, medyo matagal, medyo mabagal, but yun talaga eh. You want to make sure that you cover all your bases. But employers need to understand, may proseso lang. Kailangan mo lang sundin yung proseso na yan.
The biggest problem really with termination, in accordance to the process afforded by the law, is emotion. Most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when faced with a problematic employee, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anger sometimes. And because of those negative emotions, the feeling is, I want you out now.
Yeah.
I don't care what it costs, just leave. When you give in to those emotions in the workplace setting, it never really works out
Definitely.
well for the people involved. Maybe for the problematic person, because then they can take advantage of that.
We talked about some challenges that our clients commonly face. We talked about some fundamental things or foundational things that our small business need to take note of. There's a whole lot more out there we can probably talk about. But okay, let's talk about some simple tips to help out small business owners. The first is you need to understand there are a lot of tools available online.
Yes.
There are a lot of templates available online.
Yes.
Ang challenge lang is making sure you find the right templates, the most updated templates. Because if you search, for example, SSS whatever update form, you might find versions from 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Just make sure you're finding the most updated documents or templates to use. That's
Yes.
one.
The other thing is give time to review all the labor advisories and the memos that come out from the government. In the same vein of trying to always have updated templates, the laws also change.
Yep.
And sometimes they change without much fanfare.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the bigger difficulty with it because you do need to keep up, read, ensure that you are still complying with all the requirements.
And if business owners feel intimidated by all of this, parang, how will I find the time to do all of these things and update all my records and follow due process? That's why, ultimately, the reality is, kung di mo kaya, masyadong mahirap, wala kang oras, you outsource it.
That's true.
Diba? And outsourcing does not need to be expensive. You don't need to hire a super highly qualified, highly skilled HR professional that you might not have the budget for. And that's a valid reason. I know a lot of small business owners that we talk to, yung number one concern nila, wala akong budget to hire an HR person. That's why you outsource it. And that's why there are people like you and me who are here to help people like you. If you don't have the time, or you're worried about the expertise, or you're worried about being able to do things properly, and you're worried about budget, don't worry. There's HR consulting, the technical term's called fractional HR consulting, where for a fraction of the price of someone you would normally hire full-time, we're able to help you and support you with all the things that you need.
In the fractional HR business model, it's very priority-based.
Yes. Anong urgent need no for now
Yes.
will help you resolve that. And it doesn't have to be, it needs to be very simple and get it. First, just checking, are your contracts correct?
Yes.
Okay?
The HR audit.
Checking your 201 files, kung tama naman yung laman, and you're documenting everything properly. So, normally, just complying lang if regulatory stuff, okay ka na eh. And that doesn't have to take a lot of time. It's a very simple thing to do, and we can help people do that.
Yes.
Okay. So, let's talk about 3 things, maybe. Top 3 things that small business owners probably need to keep in mind when it comes to regard to HR stuff. First is understand you just need to comply with the basic requirements of DOLE. You don't need to overthink it. May requirements naman. It's in the labor code. Basta compliant ka, you're okay. That's one. Second, like you mentioned, document, right? You write it down and then put in an envelope and then seal with kiss.
Yes.
Okay. Document. And then third, if you're having a hard time, outsource it.
Yes. If symptoms persist, call your HR. If you don't have HR, call us.
This has been Tito HR.
And Kuya HR.
Signing off for now. See you in our next podcast.
Hi, I'm Kuya HR.
Tito HR.
We need help. Your help, specifically.
And the help we need is for you to put a name for our podcast. We have no name yet. So please comment below your suggestions, recommendations for possible names for our podcast. And if we choose one of you as the winning entry, we will give you a
box.
donut.
A box.
A box of donuts.
A box of donuts. Yes.
So please comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.